Hey there everybody, I just want to make sure I've got your attention. I'm coming to you live from my office this morning, which is just in front of the Pacific Ocean, which is just over my shoulder. So I thought I'd do, in fact this was the instigation. G'day Dev, good to see you here, mate. This was at the instigation of one of our group members here. G'day Mark Casey, good to see you here. One of our group members, Casey Eberhardt. So Casey Eberhardt, who was on a previous video earlier on. G'day Mark, how you doing? Andy McDuff. Andy McDuff, you are following me around this morning. Paul Brand, good to see you here, always. Aaron, good to see you here. So I want to give a quick shout out on the Facebook group to Casey Eberhardt, who actually instigated this training, because a little over an hour ago, g'day mate, how are you? A little over an hour ago, I was on a call just sharing something that I wanted to get people to grab a hold of, and he said, could I actually provide a quick training on reactivation campaigns? And I said that I would, so here I am. So those of you who are jumping on, really appreciate you following live. I'm happy to answer questions here as well as I go through. So one of my favorite, I built an entire multi-million-dollar business literally out of reactivation campaigns. And in fact, a few of our consulting champions right now are working with clients who are investing quite significantly in their services to run reactivation campaigns for them, using a particular automation that we have in Consulting Champions, and also in our Consulting Rocket program. But reactivation campaigns, there's a couple of aspects to the reactivation model, and I want to give you a couple of examples of this, and I'll also walk you through I guess an example of a campaign that you can run. Thanks, Paul. I really appreciate that. Thank you for saying that on the Sales Accelerator. But the thing that I want to share about reactivation is it is probably one of the most underutilized opportunities that most businesses have. So to give you some context of the importance of I guess the strategy of reactivation, and something that should be run regularly, is and everyone on this live call gets access to them. Yes, everybody on this live call gets access to the campaign. So I'm going to give you a campaign, Mark, that you can utilize, an outline of a campaign that you can easily adapt to pretty much any business. You can literally start an entire business on what I'm about to share with you in reactivation campaigns. So thank you for hopping on here quickly. Those of you who are watching this video later, Clifford, good to see you here, mate. Those of you who are watching or catching up with this video later, what I'd highly recommend that you do, if you haven't already, is make sure you switch on the notifications for this particular group, because I'm going to be providing a ton of training in the future. But this training, again, I just want to thank Casey Eberhardt for actually asking for this. He literally asked for this about an hour ago, and I said, sure, I'll jump on and do a quick live training on reactivation campaigns. Yasir, good to see you here, man. I really appreciate you hopping on here for this training. So I want to give context around reactivation on two levels. One, how we as consultants or as marketing agencies can use reactivation campaigns to generate clients. And the second thing is how you can perhaps offer this as a service to your clients. And I have a methodology. I didn't invent this methodology, but it kind of takes a chronological step. And I've used this methodology literally to generate, I'm talking tens of millions of dollars worth of sales, right? I'm literally going to hand it to you so you can apply the same philosophy, the same concept. There's a few people out there who've successfully using this to generate millions of dollars. In fact, I had one client in 1 year with the methodology I'm going to share with you. We generated $13 million worth of sales in 1 year, just off an email list. I think it was a 7,000 person email list. Can you imagine generating $13 million worth of sales off a 7,000 person email list in 12 months by using the methodology I'm going to share, or the method, or the strategy that I'm going to share with you on this call. So let me talk about reactivation first as a model. So if we look at traditional business model, there are three things that you need to successfully grow your business, right? There are three things that every business needs, and we need them here on our business. Number one, we have to have the opportunity. We've got a photo bomb in the background there. One, we have to have the opportunity where we're consistently generating new clients for our business. So the first silo, or the first area that we need to focus on as business owners, both ourselves and for others, is that we need to generate g'day Casey. This is your training, Casey Eberhardt, the reactivation training. So thank you, Casey, for hopping on here and watching this. The idea here is we have a silo where we're consistently generating clients. That's number one. Every business needs to get clients consistently. Number two, we need to actually maximize the earning capacity, or the average revenue per customer that we generate in silo number two. So what we offer, what our packages are, what our services are, we have to look at ways in which we can maximize the profitability and increase the average spend of a customer. So the first silo is more clients. The second silo is increasing the average spend of our clients to maximize the profit that we generate from the value that we deliver to the market. And the third silo is probably the most important silo. It is the one that we focus on heavily in our agency business, because we spend a lot of time crafting campaigns around this, because we know that it has a huge impact on revenue, and also at the same time it's the area of how we get our existing clients or past clients to increase their ability to spend with us over a period of time, to increase the frequency over a lifetime value of a customer. So the area that reactivation kind of fits into is in that frequency, or getting people to spend money with us over a period of time, right? So there's a couple of different aspects of reactivation. There are reactivation campaigns when we use the word to reactivate a past client. That's a campaign where we're making an offer to an existing client. John Blake, good to have you here all the way from WA. We have the opportunity to reactivate a past customer, somebody who already knows us, who's already spent money with us, that we can go back to and re-offer or invite in relation to another offer, another service that we provide to the marketplace. So that's essentially what a reactivation campaign is, to reactivate a past client. Reactivation again on perhaps people that you've spoken to in the past but didn't buy. So these are people who were interested for whatever reason at the time, and for whatever reason they made a decision where they couldn't purchase, couldn't make the investment. It was either money or timing, or it wasn't the right idea for them. So the opportunity for them to invest in your services was not at that time. So we can go and reactivate past conversations into the marketplace, right? Now, I like to call the campaigning that I'm going to be sharing with you is for people who are on your list, people who've been past clients, people who are existing clients, and people who perhaps didn't buy. So that covers like 4 different groups of people, and that gives you a fair amount of leverage. And so rather than we call it reactivation, why not we call it ignition, to ignite the opportunity with your customers or with your clients. So here is the model, the actual framework of the, g'day Jennifer, good to see you here. Here is the framework or the model that I'm suggesting. So we're going to step this out into a campaign that takes 4 steps. Every time, I'm going to use some examples. Every time I've used this campaign with clients, with business clients, we have literally generated dozens of sales, in some cases hundreds of thousands of dollars in sales in a period of the space of a week. So the campaign, it's a 4-step campaign. I like to run it over between a full week to no more than 10 days. You want to. There's a couple of aspects of this that you want to create a sense of urgency right? So there are a couple of elements to igniting or to reactivating clients. Number one, you want to create a sense of urgency. Number two, you want to make the offer relevant, right? You want to make the offer relevant, and you want to create a sense of urgency to have your customers to actually, pay attention, right? The next thing is that you want a level of scarcity. Like, you don't want to make this available and open to everyone. You want to make this available to hey, we've got so many of these available, we've got so many spaces, we've got so much room, or we can give away so much for this opportunity. So scarcity, relevance, right? And you've got to have, your offer is one that has got to be a great offer. So there's an incentive to take action, right? So those are a couple of key elements. I'm going to give you examples of a couple of campaigns to give you the perspective of how this works. The 4 emails in a reactivation or an ignition campaign, the initial email is the offer, right? We're sending out, hey, by the way, letting you know, here it is, this is the offer, email 1, right? Number 2, the second email is, didn't hear, or in case you missed it, right? Just wanted to make sure you got this. Here is the offer again. So we are reiterating the offer. I'm going to give you a subject line that I love on the second email is, hey, I didn't hear back from you, right? Hey, I didn't hear back from you. John, Blake, Mary, Jennifer, I didn't hear back from you, right? That's the second headline or subject line on the email, and then it reiterates the offer. The third email is, I'd love to know what you thought about this offer. Was this a really good offer? Was this something that was relevant to you? Love to know what you thought about this. Love to know what your thoughts are on this, right? Subject line, right? Getting people back in to your offer. The last email is, are you interested? Are you interested? That's the last email. So first email, offer. Second email, want to make sure you got this, or hey, I didn't hear back from you. Third email, love to know what you think about this idea. Need your thoughts, right? And last email is, are you interested? Those are the 4 emails in a reactivation campaign that you want to run. You want to run them in a compressed environment. You can run them 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 to 4 days, 1, 2, 3, 4 days, right? Or you could go 1 day, leave a gap, 2 days, and then 3, 4. So you can change the cadence with 1 gap. Or you can go day 1, first offer, day 2, hey, did you get this? Leave a gap in day 3, 4. What did you think about the offer? 5. Are you still interested? So you can spread it over 5 days, or you can do an email every other day that spreads the offer over to 7 days. Or the other thing that you can do is tighten the offer over a 4 or 5 day period, but the last email you leave on the last day. So, hey, are you interested? This is going to go away fast, only got available for the next 24 hours. So it jumps into that scarcity, right? So thanks, Casey. But that's the cadence. That's the cadence of the campaign. So here's a couple of campaigns that I have run very successfully and with a couple of my favorite offers that have worked, and you can apply a similar thing. It depends on what services you're providing, but you can provide a similar type of offer. So there was a company that came to me. It was a company that sold trucks, big semi-trailers, big rigs, right? And what happens with this company is they used to have these trailers. Like when they sold a new truck, the people would give them these trailers, and they would get these big trailers for free. And this particular trucking company, which was based in the United States, had about 30 of these trailers. There was 20 to 30 trailers sitting in the back. And what they used to do was they used to spend money refurbishing them, and then they would sell them with the trucks that they were selling, the rigs that they were selling. The problem was when people buy a new rig, they don't want a second-hand trailer. They don't want a refurb. They want a new trailer, right? So they would end up with all these trailers, and their only hard cost on the refurbishment was probably about anywhere between $4,000 to $7,000. So not a lot of money they spend on refurbishing, but they look good. And generally, one of these trailers would be like $100,000 or more for these trailers. They were selling these trailers. G'day, Lawrence, how you doing? They were selling these trailers for about $40,000 to $60,000, and they had just over 20 of these in their group. Now they had a really tiny list. So one of the things that we encourage them to do is say, look, they've never went back to their customer base and offered them anything. This company never offered anything to their lists in terms of generating clients, getting photo bombed by by paddleboarders now. One of the things that we found from this company, they had such a small list, and we thought, you know what? Why don't we give a 12-month warranty on the actual trailer, and why don't we let people know that there's like there's a bunch of them here, right? And that they can get a deal that you've actually refurbished them. You're going to give them a 12-month warranty on the trailer, and you will deliver the trailer for free if they take the trailer off your hands. That was the offer that we made to this very small list. When I say small list, I think the list wasn't even close to 150 people. It wasn't very big. So we set the campaign up. The offer was, hey, look, we've got these trailers, we've refurbished them, they look fantastic. Normally you're paying 100 grand for these things. You can have these things. We've got some at 40, we've got some at 50, we've got some at $60,000. We've spent money cleaning them up, putting the brakes in. We even want to put a 12-month warranty on them. We want to move them now. If you want to grab one, let us know. And if you're interested, we will ship the trailer at our expense. That was the offer, right, that went out. So, hey, we've got them here, do you want them? Now, the very people that they sold them to are people who bought trucks, so they literally obviously have a need, and some people need more than one trailer, right? So in this particular scenario, they said that they sent that out. They sold 7 trailers in the first 3 days. 7 trailers at 40 to 60 grand in the first 3 days, where people came back. Then that's just off the first email, right? So second email goes out. They sold. They had a cadence. They left 2 days in between each campaign. So this ran over almost 12 days, right? So second email went out. They sold another 3 trailers. So they had 10 trailers on by the second email. By the third email, people were sitting and saying, hey, I didn't see this. How many trailers you got left? Some of the emails were coming back saying, oh, how many trailers? Tell us more about these trailers. They sold another 4 trailers on the third email. This left them with, I believe, another 9 or 10 trailers left. The last email that went out, where they went and said, hey, look, are you interested? I've got only a handful of these left. If you want to take them off our hands, here's a 12-month guarantee. We've actually refurbished them. We'll ship them at our cost if you want the deal. One person came back that had a small trucking fleet that cleaned him out of all the trailers. They sold every single piece of their inventory over a 12-day period, and they collected about $480,000 in sales off a small list. So taking that model of, hey, here's the offer, scarcity, hey, we've only got a certain number left. We've got the relevance. Hey, look, let's make it easy let's spend some money. We'll make them really good, and we'll give you a 12-month warranty, and we will deliver them for you for free. So you're making all these savings. On a brand new, you're paying 120 grand or more. On this one, you're paying between 40 and 60. We will deliver it to you at our cost. So huge incentive, huge incentive. Cheryl Pinkett, good to see you here on this live training. Eugene, good to see you here on this live training. So huge savings, a huge incentive. And immediate responses to the actual campaign. So they literally cleared out their whole inventory by using that strategy. Hey, here's the deal. Hey, they're going. Are you interested in the deal? Hey, love to know what you thought about this deal. Hey, Eugene, love to know what you thought about this deal. And the last one was, hey, I've only got a few left. Are you still interested? That was the deal. So following that sequence. So another campaign that we did with a roofing company. This company was spending $250,000 a month in ad spend and campaigning, and they would do bucket loads of quotes, obviously for roofing or restoration, and they're always looking for more. They're always looking for conversion. Now this campaign, although to the client they felt it was really successful, to me I thought this campaign failed, and it failed fundamentally for one reason: is the back end follow up to the campaign was terrible. So we needed to word up the salespeople to know that these leads were hot. So I said to the company, I said, look, give me, in the last 6 months, give me all the quotes that didn't buy. Give me every roof quote that you've done in the last 6 months right across the country. Hey, Terry, how you doing? That didn't buy. So give me those first, right? There was about 600 of these, just over 600 of these quotes, right? So in actual, I think there was a little bit more. There's a little bit more. So, so in the campaign, we were working with one of our consultants to run this campaign. We said the offer was basically we asked the roofer, say, look, normally you give a discount on your product. How much do you normally give a discount by? And they say, oh, well, normally, we work towards giving them a $2,000 saving, right? So the campaign was like this, and you can steal this campaign, by the way. You can apply this to any business. So here was the campaign. The campaign was, and this is my favorite campaign. We were about to spend a ton of money on advertising and promotion, thousands of dollars, and we thought we'd give you the money instead. It is our 15th anniversary, so we want to give 15 people $2,000 towards, in cash, towards your roof restoration if you choose to go ahead. Now, we've quoted you before, but for whatever reason you didn't decide to go ahead. If you haven't done the roof restoration and you're still interested and you want us to requote, we will do a requote and give you $2,000 cash of our money in celebration of our 15 years in business to you if you decide to do this. We pulled the campaign, we ran the campaign. We had to shut down the campaign in 29 minutes because there was 71 leads that came in the first 29 minutes of old quotes. They generated $250,000 worth of sales out of the follow-up deals that they had. One deal was an $80,000 commercial roof restoration they got out of the email campaign. But here's the thing, the salespeople, sometimes salespeople being the lazy so-and-sos they can be, didn't follow up the leads that were coming in. Those 71 leads were people saying, I'm interested in your deal. Please come and re-quote with me. I'm interested in taking your $2,000. They didn't follow people up. If they did, they only rang them once. They never followed through with people. They let people off the hook for days without following up the leads that came in. This would have been I believe it could have done $1 to $1.5 million in sales easily if they, and this was just with a low conversion rate, if they followed through. Because if they allowed us to keep running the campaign, we would have got a saturation of leads, bucket load leads, and in that saturation there would have been people who were interested that they could have actually sold to. But the company got so panicked that they couldn't handle the leads that we generated that they asked us to shut down the campaign within 29 minutes of running the campaign. So that's another version of the campaign. I worked with a print management company. Now, print management companies, their clients spend tens of thousands of dollars on printing and also storage and maintaining or managing their print services. Excuse me while I take a swig of some water here. So they manage those print services with their clients. So we crafted a really simple campaign where we attached a check that they had to print off on the email. So this is the same campaign, similar campaign to the roofing. The campaign was, hey, we're about to spend a ton of money on advertising, promoting our print management services. You've been a customer, or you have been a past customer in the past. We'd like to give you a $1,000 check towards your next quote on your print job. We'd like to give you a $1,000 check. If you email us back this check, we will put the $1,000 towards your next quote for a print job. If you're interested in taking advantage of this, we've only given this out to a dozen of so people who can take advantage of it. So if you want the $1,000 cash towards your print job, let us know, right? 13 clients. They only sent out 72 emails, which is crazy. We encourage them to do more. But 13 clients came back. They had $80,000 worth of print jobs that they actually closed because of the campaign and the offer. And the same thing. Hey, here's a check. Next email. Hey, look, just want to make sure you got this. Want to make sure you understand that we're giving you $1,000 cash. Third email, love to know what you thought about our offer, our idea, if you need any help. And last email, look, we've got 1 or 2 checks to give away. If you're interested, let me know straight away so that we can book you in for that quote. $80,000, 72 people that they sent an email to. I encouraged them to send out hundreds of these emails, but they were worried that too many people would request $1,000. They were giving $1,000 away anyway. It wasn't physical cash, it was perceived value in the campaign. So those are 3 activation campaigns or reactivation campaigns or ignition campaigns that you can run. Now, let's talk about you. I just want to make sure, I know there's a bunch of people that are on this, and I want to be able to help you. Sorry for sticking my thumb on the camera here because I'm just scrolling through some of the comments here on Facebook. But one of the things I want you to be aware of here is I want to be able to craft a semblance of a campaign for you, and I want to give you some ideas on how you can do this for yourself. Jamil, good to see you here. Give you an opportunity to craft this campaign. So what I want to do here, just to craft the example, is if there's anybody who's watching, and there's a number of you people watching here, if you would like me to craft the 4-step campaign for you now, can you please just say me, right? And then we're going to chat back and forth, and I'm going to craft this campaign on this live training, and others can actually use the same strategy to go and engage or reactivate clients, or you can use this strategy to generate other people. So Mark Casey is the first person off the market, me. Okay, so thank you, Mark, I really appreciate it. So you're going after the med spa market. Your market would like to hear the 4 steps. Eugene says me. Let me deal with Mark, and let's see if I've got enough time I might have enough time to do 2 campaigns. So now, an ignition campaign, are we talking, so I want to help you here, Mark. Are you talking about to run a campaign for a med spa, or are you talking about running an ignition campaign to a list that you have to engage med spas for your services? So let me ask you, Mark, are you talking about crafting a campaign for the med spas that you can actually have run for them, right, as a service, or that you can go to them with and say, hey, I've got this campaign, you want to run it and you want to charge them for it? Or are you asking me for a campaign for you to engage med spas as a client using this 4-step strategy? Can you just, is it for you or for the med spas? So just let me know, Mark, for you or for the med spa? Say it's for me or med spas, then I'll know which campaign to craft. So Mark, Jason, Peter O'Sullivan, good to see you here. Jamil, okay, to attract them. So this is Jimena Cortez, nice to see you here all the way from Las Vegas. Okay, so this campaign, Mark, is for the med spas to send out to their clients. Is that what you're saying? Or for you to get med spa clients? That's what I was asking. So yes, thanks. For you to get med spa clients, or for your med spas to get customers for med spas? For you or med spas? Like say me or for med spas? I'm confused. Because you wrote med spas, and I'll craft a campaign for med spas to go out. Me to get them. Okay, that's better, Mark. All right. Hey, Jimena, how you doing? So this is a campaign, and all of you, if you look at the style or the strategy that I'm putting together for you here, you can apply this strategy to anybody. So Mark here wants to go and get some med spas on board using a reactivation campaign. Mark, what are you selling as a strategy? Are you selling Facebook advertising, or what are you doing? What are you doing as a strategy for people? Are you selling Facebook ads, AdWords, omni-targeting? What are you doing? Just let me know, right? Because this is a campaign that I'll craft for you. Any consultant can use this campaign. We just need to change med spas to whatever niche, right? So what are you selling, Mark? Are you selling Facebook ads to them, or what are you selling? Or are you selling email marketing, or what are you doing? Just if you can answer my question, that'd be great. Okay, so database reactivation, and then generate Facebook ad campaign. All right, so so one of the things I want to be clear about is you want to always make one offer, right? So you're going into the market, Mark here, to offer reactivation campaigns for them to generate more clients for their existing clients, and then open up the door to upsell them into Facebook ads. So if I was reaching out to med spas, I would sit there and say what my campaign to them in outreach. I could either do a subject line quick question, or another subject line would be depending on what service they're selling, whether it be things like cool sculpting or whatever they're selling, preferably a higher level of service would be high ticket, like cool sculpting, that sort of stuff, $1,800 per customer. One of the things that you can actually do is you can go to the market and state the idea of being able to bring clients to them now, clients that will be ready to pay or ready to buy now, is what you want to be looking at, right? And so what I'd be looking for is things like, so let's say cool sculpting is a thing. So I'm just trying to get in my head, and I'm sorry I'm sort of bumbling around here a little bit, but I'm trying to get into my head how the opportunity that you can create around this particular service. So med spas do cool sculpting. All right, cool sculpting is roughly an $1,800 to $2,600 procedure because it's a multi-visit procedure. And so what I'd be doing is going in and saying, hey, quick question as a subject line. I've been helping. I've got a really simple way to make sure that we can actually get customers or your clients to actually buy cool sculpting now. Can I share with you a really simple way in which you can get current customers or people that you already have served in the market, or people who've been past customers, on how you can get them in to buy cool sculpting now. I've got a really simple system. It'd be really cool if we could just have a chat. If we could have a chat, just reply yes to this email. That's the first email that I would send out. Second email, say, hey, if you're interested in getting some people to buy into your cool sculpting programs, I'd love to share a simple idea with you. That's the, hey, I didn't hear back from you. Look, if you're interested in getting people to buy your cool sculpting, current customers to buy your cool sculpting services now, if you're interested, let's get on a call, let's have a quick chat. I'd love to bring those people into your med spa, right? That's the second email. Third email is, I'd love to know what you think about the idea of getting people who've come to you in the past to come back and buy into utilizing cool sculpting. So I'd love to know what you think about this idea. If it's worthwhile having a chat, just say yes or reply yes to this email. That's the third email. The last email that I would put in would be, are you interested? Are you interested in looking at a way in which you can get past patients, past customers to come back and invest between $1,800 and $2,600 in cool sculpting? Those are the 4 emails that I would write. I would spread the emails over 4 days. Introduce yourself in the last email. So the reason I'm reaching out to you is I'm actually helping med spas to maximize their opportunity to generate cool sculpting clients. I know this is an area where a lot of people are investing a lot of money in marketing and advertising. I want to do this to help you without spending any money on advertising. So if we can generate cool sculpting clients without you having to spend any money on advertising to get those clients, then we're more than happy to help you out. That's the strategy that you want to send out. So there's 4 emails. So the offer, direct offer, right? This is to invite. Second, hey, did you get this? Want to make sure you got it, right? Hadn't heard back from you. Third, love to know what you think about this idea. Let's chat. Fourth, are you interested? Are you interested in this idea? Can we have a chat? That's all we're trying to do, is we're trying to get a conversation with a customer to look at our opportunity to sit down and run a reactivation campaign for the med spa. So Mark, that's your campaign. Anybody else watching this this video, the only reason I'm watching the distance is my car's parked over there and the parking inspector's coming along, and I'm about to run out of parking meter money. So I'm just sorry, I'm not, that's the only thing that's distracting me here, so I apologize for that. So those are the 4 campaigns that I would run, right? I've got about 5 minutes here before I have to go and get that meter going. So those are the 4 campaigns. Here's the offer. Did you get the offer? What did you think about this idea? What do you think about this? Hey, are you interested? This is why I'd like to talk to you about it. That's the 4 emails that you're writing, and that's the context. Now you can apply what I just did for Mark to pretty much any business, but think about the service that they want to sell more of, right? Remember I talked about more clients, more revenue, more often. That third silo, which is the more revenue part, the more often part down the back, is the idea of reactivation. So if I can find a way to help you with your current clients to generate more from your existing customers, to get cash flow in your business now, would it be worthwhile just having a conversation about that? At the end of the day, I want to show you a way which you can generate revenue opportunities, a cash injection in your business in the next 30 days without having to spend a single dollar on advertising to acquire them. Are you interested in having a look at that strategy or that idea? Yes or no? That's what we're doing, or that's what I would encourage you to do as part of the campaign. If you're reactivating for clients, the one thing is you want to think about an offer. Think about what they can add value with. Think of what they can put into a package, something that is appealing, something, oftentimes I ask clients, what's the best best sale or best offer you've ever made in the past to get the best opportunity for sales. That's what I've offered in the past. So I'm just looking here, sorry, without doing, what do we got here? Mark, we've got Mark. So I've answered your questions. Who else was here that said me? Med spas, estate planning attorneys. Jamil Lina, estate planning attorneys. We always pick the fun people to work with. I don't know, not that I have anything against estate planning attorneys, but if they're the market that you're after, you know, they're looking for more people in there. So easiest way to do this for estate planning attorneys, so just thinking out alive, and again, this is service-based businesses. So service-based businesses have multiple services can sell to existing clients, right? You can sit there, rather than saying, I want to bring you more estate planning customers, right? You can say, look, can I show you a really simple process to get those people that you've served that don't have estate planning to actually invest in estate planning with you? Can we get on a quick call to look at a way of getting people who haven't invested in estate planning with you, that we can actually invite them to do their estate planning with your law practice? Is that okay? That's the offer. Second offer, hey, what do you think about the idea? I'm not sure, I didn't hear back from you. What do you think about the idea of engaging your customers who haven't invested in estate planning to help them to make that investment in your services? I'd love to talk to you about that. If you're interested, quick chat. Third email, what do you think about the idea of having a really simple system that you could automate on a periodical basis to continually allow customers who invest in your other legal services to come back to you to invest in estate planning? If you're interested, let's have a chat about that. That's the feedback of the idea. The last email, hey, are you interested in this idea? Just let me know. Can we get on a call and have a chat? There's 4 emails that you can run for estate planning in the marketplace. You want to make this very conversational. You want to make it short and punchy. That's what you want to do with reactivation campaigns. As I said, my favorite 4 email sequence is here is the offer, time sensitive, right? Scarcity, so scarcity. Great value, added value, so incentive, right? Second email, didn't hear back from you, haven't heard from you. This is what it was about. Third email, love to know what you think about this idea. Here's what it's all about. Last email, are you interested? Those are the 4 campaigns that I would run in any reactivation campaign. Those couple of campaigns that I've got on the video here, you can apply pretty much to any business. Think about the one service that a business wants to sell that has a high value or high ticket. You know, Jimena Cortez is on this call, the superstar LinkedIn specialist. Your client, you know, the opportunity for your clients to go back to all those leads that they didn't close is a great opportunity. Say, look, you know, there's a ton of opportunity here. It's sitting here. Can we run another campaign for you so we can reignite or invite those people back into the process of doing business with you? That's a way that I would do it with LinkedIn services. Who else is on here? We've got Peter O'Sullivan. We've got a whole bunch of people watching here, which is great. Thank you. Who else? I took care of roofers. I'm good to go. Awesome. Thanks, I really appreciate that, Jamil. I hope you got a lot out of this. So there's my training, my short training on reactivation campaigns, my methodology that I use all the time to run those types of campaigns to maximize those opportunities. Giving you a couple of examples here that you can run this sequence to. You know, I have used this many times to generate clients. Andy McDuff, could these sequences be applied to? Yes, absolutely. LinkedIn outreach, of course. You can apply these sequences into LinkedIn outreach. But you want to, one of the things with LinkedIn outreach, and I know Jimena would probably back this up because she is one of the preeminent specialists in generating clients on LinkedIn. One of the things you want to be mindful of is you want to be making sure that you're adding value in LinkedIn. You want to be adding value in the sequence. You want to be making sure that they're getting a strong value proposition, so it doesn't come off as that you're trying to sell them in LinkedIn. I wouldn't run this like a campaign structure in LinkedIn. I'd more likely run some form of value in the communication, and then open the door to the possibility of taking a next step to find out more, or perhaps something that they might see. This is a great idea. We need to get on a call and let's talk about it. That's the way, Andy, that I would approach it on LinkedIn. I wouldn't be approaching it as a campaign, because it'd probably put people off. It's not really the way to do it in LinkedIn, because otherwise you're trying to get married before you're dating. So maybe if you look at this 4-sequence structure in LinkedIn as dating, rather than, hey, let's get on a call and let's make it happen. Like, hey, here's an idea. What do you think about this idea? I'd love to know what you think about this idea. Hey, let's apply some math to this idea. If you went out to 1,000 people, if your worst case scenario was a 10% conversion rate or a 5% conversion rate, that's 50 opportunities. What would 50 opportunities look like for your business? Is it worth, if plan A was not to do, if plan B was not to do this, and plan A was to actually apply, g'day Tom, how you doing? Good to see you here. If plan A was to apply this concept and actually see the results, is it worthwhile having a conversation or mapping out a plan to actually, see this through and make this work? Be a little bit more subtle if you're doing this type of strategy on LinkedIn. So, any other questions? I'm happy to answer one more question before I have to go and feed the meter, and so I don't incur a massive parking fine. But we've been on this call now for about nearly 30 minutes, so hopefully you guys and you on here got a lot out of this. If you're watching this later, if you're catching up with this, love to get your feedback on this, if you thought this was really good training. If you'd like me to give you examples of this, please comment in the feed on this video. I'm more than happy to talk about ideas or strategies around this as well. So I'm happy to answer one more question before I have to get off this call. Anybody got a question? I'm more than happy to answer. Casey Eberhardt, thank you for sending this idea through of, could I run a quick training on reactivation campaigns? Appreciate you asking this for this, and I'm sure others that are on this live appreciate it as well. The person that you want to speak to, Andy McDuff, is Himena, J-I-M E-N-A, Himena Cortez. She is in our Facebook group. She runs a company called WizardNet. She is a superstar, a rock star when it comes to getting clients on LinkedIn. She's quite an extraordinary specialist in that area. She's been doing it for a very long time, and she's very effective at it. So if you want to reach out to somebody like Himena, Himena Cortez, that's J-I-M-E-N-A Cortez, C-O-R-T-E-Z. She's actually live on this video right now. So she is in the Facebook group. If you want to reach out to her or connect with her, I'm sure she'll be able to help you out. So Andy, thank you. I really appreciate that. Thank you all for those who are watching here and those who've contributed and asked questions. I really appreciate you guys hopping on here. I wish you all the best. I'd love to hear what's happened with the execution of your campaign. Put some feedback into the group here. Make sure you switch on the notifications, because I'm going to be doing more trainings in this group. So with that, I want to thank you. Terry, what would I charge? Oh, good question. Okay, I'll give you 30 seconds on what would I charge. So you've got to charge a setup fee. You've got to craft the campaign, right? You've got to craft the campaign. So I always charge, if I was lowballing a 4-step sequence campaign, I'd probably charge between $5,000 and $10,000 to set the campaign up. So that's crafting the offer, setting up the campaign in something like Active Campaign or MailChimp or Infusionsoft or whatever service that I would have to run that database, and I would be managing that database. Along with that, I'd be charging a monthly fee if we're going to run regular campaigns. Another way to do this is to, Terry, I know that you're here, but in my groups, in the Consulting Champions groups, we actually work with people with a solution that they can actually plug this in, and they can actually have a client pay on retainer. So some of the people that I work with are getting, $1,000 to $2,000 a month retainers just to manage, a database of 1,000 customers. But the setup fee is anywhere between $5,000 to $10,000 would be a setup fee for a campaign. It would be that. By the way, that's cheap. That's the lowest that I would charge. Terry, what if they don't have a database? There is not a single business on the planet that is actively in business that doesn't have a customer base. If they don't have a customer base, they're not in business, Terry. If they don't have a customer base, they're not in business. So you can run a reactivation campaign on direct mail. You don't have to just run it on email. There's other ways to do this. You can run a reactivation campaign on text messaging, on voice drops. Some of our consulting champions right now, James, one of our guys, who's working in a very nice, very cool niche, is running two-step text message campaigns, and he's charging, I think he's charging $24,000 to send out text messages to lists as little as $500. 500 people. So there's a whole bunch of ways. G'day, Aaron. How you doing? There's a whole bunch of ways you can run these types of reactivation campaigns into the marketplace. So don't let if you're dealing with a business that doesn't have a database, you're dealing with the wrong business. Go and talk to bigger businesses is what I would say. Thank you for hanging out. As I said, this is going to be on my feed. I really appreciate you guys contributing and being part of this. Love to get some feedback on what you thought about the training. Just type here. Thank you, Terry. I really appreciate that. Look, at the end of the day, apply this stuff. The only way you're going to get the feedback is to apply it. And I'll guarantee you that if you are going to make those sorts of offers in the marketplace, I know that people have responded to those types of campaigns and generated sales. So with that, thank you, Casey Eberhardt, for suggesting this live training. Thank you for all of you who are here, who've been participating and answering questions here. I know it was very short notice because I literally said, hey, training on in 5 minutes in the group. So thank you. I'll probably give you a bit more of a heads up on future trainings, but great to have you here. Look forward to seeing you on the next trainings. Take care. Goodbye from the Pacific Ocean.